Yes.
And here in Denmark, every kid or youngster are vaping on this shit,
Oh,
and it's
no,
very dangerous
really?
for you. Yeah, everyone's. It is not allowed under 18,
Right.
so you have to be 18 and plus. But a lot of youngsters here in Denmark, and actually the fines are like 2,000 euros
Wow.
if yeah. So there and it does so many great things for it. Better sleep and helps your boost testosterone by 20% in the first month. It boosts something called DHEA. It's a precursor that makes free testosterone also.
Yep.
So just for people that want to go the natural route, it's pretty good. I actually take them now. I take 2 a day. But the gym time has always been my escape, always. But now it's even better because I don't go to like a commercial gym. I go to my basement. I only have I don't have the main phone. I have my extra phone.
Did you aspire to become a professional bodybuilder? Were you wanting to compete?
Yeah, but I was afraid of 2 things: injuries and steroids.
Yeah,
actually.
of course, I understand that part. Yeah.
One big thing, Steve, that I want to bring up. I actually lost one of my closest friends to steroids. Actually, I didn't tell you.
Oh. Viagra pre-workout, or is it work it out? It's Viagra that we're missing. He's off to America for the love of bodybuilding at 18. He's regretted it since. Stay tuned to find out more. Why? Helping is his middle name. Optimism and dreams come alive is his call sign. Top 3 supplements to grow, he'll tell us. Twice a day, 7 days a week, 3 exercise genres. He can't be stopped. His 18th-year-old photo astonishes everyone. He should have taken up bodybuilding full time. Is he French, Danish, English? Where did the Spanish come from? Please help me welcome the happiest guy. It's the happiest country. Okay, number 2 country to Finland. Bryan Angel.
Thank you. Great intro. Thank you so much, Steve.
Oh, no, thank you for sharing all that information about you. I mean, there's a bit there, but let's start off with one of your posts, okay? Because I went through your post first, and you posted this in July, on the 25th of July, and you posted, it's not you saying this, it's not you, but it's on your reels. It says, and I want you to break it down for us, top 3 supplements to grow muscle. Okay, so number 3 is controversial. So let's go with number 1. Number 1 is creatine, 5 to 10 milligrams per day of training. You can take the weekend off if you like. That's one of the posts. How important is creatine? What do you think?
Well, actually, can I just quickly introduce our company, Steve?
Yes, please.
Yeah, because well, I'm the owner and creator of Empower Nutrition.
Yes.
Started in Colorado, in Denver, in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the thing that we're trying to do in the fitness industry is to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
So actually avoid selling dreams and start being real and honest with people, and creating everything from natural remedies.
Yes.
So yeah, so we are very focused on science-backed facts.
Yeah.
So creatine is one of the most base facts supplements out there. Actually, I think everyone knows.
Yep.
Everyone knows that creatine does a lot of good things for your bones, for your muscle growth. And the latest news actually is also good for your brain.
Yep.
That's the latest news. So
creatine's good for the brain. Creatine's good for the brain, yeah?
Actually, the last couple of years, if you check out Dr. Huberman or David Sinclair, is one of the guys in anti-aging.
Yes.
In the yeah, he's very big on creatine also.
Wow.
But the thing is, people take way too much. They take like 5 and 10 grams a day, and you only need like a couple of grams,
Really?
2 grams, 3 grams. Yeah. and people, because you're gonna achieve the muscle saturation anyway.
Yep.
It's just gonna take a little bit longer, like 1 month or six weeks.
Yep.
So the loading phase is, I think, is bullshit. And I'm all about like doing it slow and doing it safe.
Yep.
So
Why do you
yeah.
think then that they push like 5 to 10 milligrams? Do you believe it's more about consuming the product and then rebuying it? Like, is that what you think?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, well, it's not only the fitness industry; it's also like here in Denmark. I'm a physiotherapist here,
Yep.
and it's the same. It's all about buying medication. When I get a new customer in from the doctor and they come here, it's all about like they come with 10 different medication, but there is no treatment really. Just buy, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's time to be a little bit less greedy. You can help people, of course, and we need all of us need to sell supplements, but let's try to make some real supplements and some natural supplements, and just be real. Like when people ask me advice on like how to lose weight or something, I'm always telling them what to do if it was myself.
Yes.
So I give advice based on what I would do, and of course, like take care of their wallet also.
Yeah.
And we return customer percent at 85 right now, because people buy, and when you discover you're honest and your product works, then they come back. I think it's a better business model than just like ripping off people, and you have to find new customers all the time, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been obviously. We discovered each other. Well, I've discovered you on TikTok, and probably in the last 12 months. And I know you've been putting this. Yeah, and I know you've been putting this product together for a while. When did you? And we'll go over
10 years coming.
How much has been? 2 years.
10 years.
So 10 years, the company, or putting it together?
Doing research and discovering things and finding business partners, and like 10 years all together with the research and stuff. Yeah.
When did you actually launch the company? I can assume, but let you say it. When did you launch it?
About 12 months ago, started in the States, and recently in the last 4 months here in Europe.
Yep. And what was? Look, the thing is, let's be real here. Business is about making money. I mean, that's why we do it. But also, business allows us to do it on our watch. It's on our watch. It's for us to be accountable. And sometimes I tell people myself that I sound like a good salesman, Bryan. I sound like a very good salesman. But to be honest,
definitely.
Yeah, I do. But to be honest, I could not sell ice to Eskimos. I'd be a hopeless salesman. So in other words, to sell rubbish, I'm not good at rubbish. I'm just not good at it. There are people better than me that can sell rubbish. I can't. So I have to sell something that I have some belief in it, and I have to have some kind of conviction, and it has to stem around my own life behaviors. So when you started this, is that what the purpose was? Because you mentioned about being natural. It's not only about physical; it's about mental growth as well, meaning cognitive behavior. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. That's why we have our mushroom products with lion's mane and chaga and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even. I'm very much like you, Steve. I'm not a great salesperson either.
Yeah.
People been telling me my whole life, you should sell stuff, but no, I don't have the passion to persuade somebody.
Yeah.
So if it's not honest, I could really not do it, because I suck at selling. So, but when it comes from passion, then it's easy, right?
Yeah.
When you sell something that you actually love, and like it's a great product, then it's easy because you're proud of it.
I think.
So otherwise I would be a shitty. No, it's okay, Steve.
No, you're going to say other than that we'd be shit salesmen. Yeah, of course, I believe you. I'm the same. I would.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you a funny. I always got funny stories, but when I sold one of my businesses, I know you're 44. I'm 55. You're 1979. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just turned 45, actually, the 4th September.
Well, welcome to 45. Yeah, I'm 1969.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funniest story was when I sold my business, I decided to, because I got Greek background. So I've got Greek background. And in Australia, the Greeks work very hard. You've got to have 2 or 3 jobs. Yeah. So I used to work at a place called The Good Guys. Now, The Good Guys, they sold televisions, fridges, everything, you name it, even hair straighteners. Yeah. Even though I was not an expert at hair straighteners, I became an expert. And what I learned when I was in that, I only did it once a week. Once a week. That's all I did it. Yeah. But when I used to turn up, there was another 25 salesmen in there, right? 25. And at the end of the day, the manager would show how everyone did their sales, how good you were, right? And the funniest was, even though I sold honestly, and I did, and I knew nothing about the products, but I knew a television was good and I knew a washing machine was okay, I was very aggressive in competition. So I would always be top 3, top 5, top 8 out of the 25 or 30 salesmen, even sometimes number 1, but only one day a week. So sometimes in sales, you not only want to sell the truth, but you got to be savage. Sometimes you just got to be savage. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Because good guys don't always win. That's the thing. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, who is following us on all platforms, but especially here on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, please, if you could do us a big favor, which helps us reach more people, get better, bigger, greater. We've already had some great guests anyway. Everyone's been a treat. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified every week a new podcast that is launched. And I just want to say a big thank you. But again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and enjoy watching Muscle Talks podcasts.
Very, very barely, actually.
But
I actually I'm just starting to learn actually how to sell a little bit more when people reach out for help, because here in Denmark, everyone can reach out. You know, I am on TikTok. Everybody knows the face behind the products, right?
Yeah.
So they can reach out and they get advice, but I'm always like, no, just buy these 2 products. That's enough. Save a little bit of money. But now just trying to turn it a bit, because all our products are good. So just give them like a package deal or something, you know, and just start to, But here in Denmark, it's only me, and I'm learning little by little how to be a better salesperson without bringing in the bullshit.
No, you have to. Yeah, you have to. Everyone says, look, we're all, once you're in business, you got to pay your bills, and unfortunately you got to sell to pay your bills. So at the end of the day, I think you got to sell your bills. So all right, so number 2, top 3 supplements. So we worked out we don't need too much creatine, we just need a couple of grams. But
definitely.
Number 2 is whey protein. Very important, apparently, creating for growth of muscle tissue. Is that right? Whey protein?
Yeah. I think so. People just need to be aware of. There's a lot of shitty products out there.
There is.
So they very and there is one main ingredient called maltodextrin in a lot of protein, and actually you cannot break it down. It just stays in your body for so long.
Really?
So it's very, very dangerous. So if you see the number 1 product, it's maltodextrin, just throw it in the trash right away.
What's it called?
But other than that, maltodextrin.
I'm gonna write that down.
Maltodextrin. You cannot. I actually made a video about it, I think, on YouTube or TikTok, because it's the one thing that stays in your body up to 90 days. So it's insane. You cannot it's so poisonous. It makes you tired. It makes you grow acne. So much thing. People actually get depressed by taking too much of maltodextrin. And they just use it for.
It's funny you say that. Keep going.
Yeah. No, but a lot of the big industries just use it because it's cheap and it's a good filler, and it makes you bloated. It makes you bloated, so bodybuilder thinks that they're actually achieving like something good.
Yeah.
And when I started working out with my business partners, they all want this product in our protein powder. So for like 6 or 8 months, I didn't have a protein powder because I wouldn't make stuff like this. So yeah,
it's funny because again, I've been listening back to some of our podcasts, and I keep saying to myself, I wish Steve would just shut up, but I guess I'm not going to shut up. But the thing is, there was a period in my life where I went through some mental health issues, a bit of depression, anxiety, but predominantly anxiety. But I keep saying it was because of being prescribed. But my psychologist would say to me, and it might have been that metodextrin, she told me that some of the protein powders I shouldn't be taking. So even some of the professional psychologists would tell me, not psychiatrists, because, would say to me, Stephen, I'd stay off the protein powders for a little while, which I found strange. But now that you said this, kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about eating food, like real food first, right?
Buddy.
I was a very big fan of Rich Piana, rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah.
I was a very big fan of Rich. He was always like, eat food, right? Real food first. Yeah. And of course, eat real food. But, at the end of the day, we have like, so much work. We have limited schedule. I can understand if people want to, get a little protein powder in there just to keep things going. Because 300 grams of protein a day is a lot for like a guy like me. So sometimes you just, you just need your protein powder, but you just need to find a product that is, that is good and clean and avoid maltodextrin. If you know nothing else, just know this one.
Mate, I've written it down and it reminded me of why I'm thinking that's what my psychologist told me why to stay
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Look, I think we've been a little bit brainwashed by unfortunately not brainwashed by you or me. What I think we've been brainwashed by the industry telling us what we should have for the sake of selling items to us because we are consumers, which is sad. So that's sad. That's why eating a organic grass-fed steak is way better than whey protein.
Way better.
Way better than whey protein.
Way better. Eggs and your oatmeal.
Yes.
And steak. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
But this is like I used to say, Steve, supplements or protein powder especially is for people that are busy or lacking some motivation to eat, that much.
Yeah.
That's the only thing where it's actually okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just eat your food. Is all about prepping your food and taking your food with you. That's
100%, 100%.
That's it. You just,
So the third recommendation, and I'll tell you, this is the funny one, right? Just let me build it up. Let me get the drums.
Yes.
Let me get the drums going.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is, Chris Kirilos brought this up. One of our guests brought it up a few weeks ago, which I laughed at it.
Oh.
Yeah. It was Kirilos, but he spoke about we do not. Let me put a disclaimer in. We do not recommend that 99% of people use this, but 5 to 10 milligrams of Viagra as a pre-workout is very good, especially 30 minutes prior to training, because it enhances the blood flow to the tissue. So tell me something. Wait, before you answer this, Bryan, if I see someone humping the bench and there's no one there, they're on Viagra. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. It's not only the love for it's not only the love for the gym, it's actually, something behind it.
Jesus Christ, you're going to fall in love with the column. The column next to you, you're going to hump the column. You know, you're going to look like those dogs, when they go walking and they jump on every dog and they're humping it.
Yeah.
We already got a problem with guys in the gym, let alone give them Viagra. So tell me about that. Tell me about this Viagra.
Well, first of all, Steve, I would say like you just introduced it. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, no, right? 99% of you should not do it out there.
Yeah, it's only for like a little bit. You have to be a little bit crazy. Also, you have to be in the bodybuilding business a lot of years. You have to be an elite, gym goer because like at some point you're just gonna hit some plateaus, right?
Yeah.
For me, steroids is not an option.
Yep.
So sometimes to push the envelope a little bit further, you have to discover some ways.
Yep.
And I had a business partner that actually introduced me to. Well, he was taking Cialis just on a regular basis, and his pumps were just insane.
Have you tried it? Have you done it? Have you done this?
Yeah.
What's it like? What's it like?
It's insane. It's insane.
Really?
I actually use it on my weak body parts. Sometimes when I have like a 2-hour leg session, I just take it like half an hour, and the pump is insane. It's something. It's actually insane.
I need to ask. So, do you get horny?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, God's sake, that's a tough one, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, of course. So you just need to stay focused, like
You know what?
Just work out.
If we ever train together, me and you, if we train together, make sure I'm not training legs, and I need you to spot me on squats. I don't need you to spot me squatting. Okay? That's please. I don't need that.
Not a good idea.
I don't need you to be squatting me from behind and you've had Viagra, because that's going to push the friendship.
Totally understandable. Well, totally understandable.
Totally, yeah. Well, that is amazing, That is amazing.
And one other thing, Steve.
What was that?
One other thing, actually.
Yep.
One other thing, by you're actually taking a little bit of Viagra before your workouts, it just keeps your heart healthy because the blood is thinner, and the heart is pumping more.
Wow.
So it's actually better for the heart also. Yeah. And this is not me saying it. I actually talked to a heart doctor here in Denmark that actually, was like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea because your heart is, the blood is thinner, everything is pumping more. So that's,
Well,
but small doses, of course, not like 100 milligram.
I remember when Viagra came out. How many milligrams? How many milligrams of Viagra do we take?
50.
50 milligrams.
Yeah, it's like half a pill.
Okay.
It's like half a pill.
Do you need a doctor's prescription for Viagra, or you can go get it at the counter?
Well, here in Denmark, you need a prescription for everything.
No, I don't know what we
everything.
Need. I wouldn't know.
It's such a I will not say it's a bit sad here in this country because you can buy so many things that are very dangerous, but medications, stuff like Viagra and stuff, like most people will understand how to use them, right? But it's sometimes the world is I have 3 or 4 of my products that I cannot get in here in Denmark, but you can buy them in Sweden and Germany. But Denmark is very strict on food regulation. So okay.
Chris is
special country.
Chris is laughing away. I feel like Chris thinks this is a lot of hook bait stuff. Chris is thinking we already got in trouble enough with Saka. We're going to go with Viagra. This is a big conversation. It's funny because I remember when they introduced Viagra to the world. It was about, God, was it about? I think Viagra was brought up in the
late 90s, maybe.
What was that?
Late 90s.
Yeah, late 90s, something like that. It's a long time ago. And I remember, I think the big spokesman for it, and so it should be, was Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner, I think he needed to take Viagra to take on all the Playboy bunnies. So Hugh Hefner, it changed his life.
MDMA.
What was that?
Yeah, definitely. He was doing MDMA also, ecstasy and Viagra. Yeah,
Yeah, he
was insane.
well,
He was insane.
he could do anything he wanted. Yeah. He could do anything he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Um,
it's not for everyone, Steve.
I'd like to give Hugh Hefner's job a go, but maybe not for everybody. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Why not?
Why not? You posted on the 18th of the 7th this year, just in July. But also tell me about L-glutamine. It has a significant role in muscle protein synthesis, supporting new muscle growth, preventing tissue breakdown. I keep hearing about this glutamine. Tell me about glutamine.
Well, glutamine is all about repairing the muscle tissue after breakdown.
After breakdown, right? Okay.
So it's something that you take post your training.
Post, right?
And it's actually, I think it's a pretty good supplement, but you can find it in a lot of BCAA's products mixed it in there. Uh-huh. I think the best product if you make something with BCAAs combined with glutamine. Mm-hmm. I think that's the best. I don't have one yet, but I'm working on one soon. You just can take your BCAAs and you have your glutamine and theanine also in there. So you just yeah. But it's pretty important.
But pretty important. Bryan, feel free always to talk about your product. It's your show.
Thank you.
Like I said, so you always feel free. Go for it. You are Bon Jovi, and I'm Ricky Sambora in the background. I'm Ricky Sambora. All right, so you can always talk about your product, okay? So by all means. This one's not a sponsored event. Actually, we struggle to give... No, we don't struggle.
Oh, okay.
So you can talk about anything you like. So on the 22nd of the 6th, you were speaking Danish, so I have no fucking idea what you were saying. But it looked like you were holding a vape. Were you talking about vaping?
Oh, yeah.
What were you said something about misinformation, I'm assuming, on what I assume was vaping. Can you please explain to us in English what you were saying?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'll start off to say I have 3 girls, and I have the biggest daughter that I have is 16.
Yes.
And here in Denmark, every kid or youngster are vaping on this shit, and it's very dangerous for you. Yeah, everyone. So even my daughter has asked me at one point if she can buy one.
Yeah.
Because it is not allowed under 18.
Right.
So you have to be 18 and plus. But a lot of youngsters here in Denmark, and actually the fines are like 2,000 euros.
Wow.
If yeah. So they're very big on this. But the thing that I was saying in that video is the vapes actually contains urine from women. So the biggest thing of the flavor comes from urine. Wow. Actually. So it's kind of shit product. Yeah. And actually you can Google it. It's not like a secret, but this post went pretty viral because people were like, "Oh, fuck you, this bullshit," because everyone loved. People was just like, "No, vaping is good. Yeah. It's better than smoking, right?"
Yeah.
But in your lungs, you have something called willies. Willies are the little small hairs in your lungs, and actually vaping is way worse than smoking.
Wow.
So and other than that, you're consuming all this urine. Is like the biggest flavor comes from urine, and people were so upset. It's like, "No, fuck you, Bryan. You don't know."
There's a lot of fuck. There's a lot of fuck yous out there. Don't worry about that. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate out there,
especially on TikTok. That's why,
Bryan, everywhere. You know what it is, Bryan?
Well,
do you want me to tell you what it is? I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's not what you're saying. It's what you look like. If they don't like how you look, that's what they're going for. You and me, we don't fit the criteria. Does that make sense?
I know.
That's what I'm saying because we look very rugged and we look tough, even though we're not tough. We're tough, but we're not tough. We're tough, but we're,
outside,
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not what you're saying, it's who you are, and they're attacking that. If they sat there and listened, then they'd learn.
Oh, yeah.
They'd learn. You'd learn something. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Bryan doesn't know everything. Steve doesn't know everything. No one knows everything. No. We are a collective. But because they see Bryan's face They're going to attack you. And
Yeah.
that's why I said,
Yeah.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I am
Yep.
very much used to it, so that's fine.
Yeah, I saw that.
But the thing is, the people, especially men, because women they're just appreciative when you help them.
Yeah.
So for men, it's a competitive thing, I think, right?
Yeah.
If someone attacks you, it's probably because you're doing something that they wish they could do.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm actually doing a lot of motivational speaks here at schools and stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's like stop hating.
Oh,
Yeah,
far out.
just stop hating. And I don't know the term for it in English, but it's a school when people can stay like for a whole year.
Yep.
They actually live there and come home like
like boarding
weekend.
school. Boarding school.
Yeah, boarding school. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So my daughter actually started one. She didn't like it that much, so she came back. But for me, I just saw all the youngsters struggling, and they're taking drugs at 15. They're smoking, you know. And when I came, they was like, this guy is he works out. Let's hear his story, right?
Yeah.
And just try to put them on a path of like fitness and good stuff instead of bad stuff.
Why? Firstly, why? Because I'm going to skip a few questions. I'm going to come back to these questions, but why, Bryan, after listening to what you shared with me and what I've looked at and what you just said, what is it about you helping people, and what is it about you that doesn't need it to be monetary? It's something innate in you to just fucking give. It seems like it. Now, from the outside looking in, I've seen some people, I think they're like that, and then I realize they're not. But it seems like, because I'm going to bring up later on your wife, but what is it about you seemingly like you just want to give? Like you said, you go to the school and you do motivational speaks. Why? Why is it? Why do you feel like you have to? Why do you do it?
Well, I could monetize it, of course, and get some good, and it's pretty easy because schools are paid by the state, so it's easy money. You can ask like 10,000 Danish kroner, it will be no problem at all.
But also people charge and they don't even know how to talk. So you know how to talk and you're not charging. So why?
I think I just wanted to build up a little bit of good karma, and what I teach my client and also my daughters, especially my daughters and my wife, is like just try to help another person, like for just 10 minutes a day, 10 or 15 minutes a day. Just try to help another person without having like business mindset. Just help, give without and actually you just feel better. I just saw like 3 or 4 hours of your podcast last night just to see a couple of guests. And the big mental health thing that you do, you ask people about the mental health, and that's one of mine. Just help another person for 10 minutes a day. Just try to do it. It feels so fucking good. So it's for me, but it's also for the other person.
I'm going to ask again another question about that. What does karma mean to you? Like, I'll give you an example. For me, the only thing I try to hold on to isn't necessarily karma, and I'll tell you why not karma, because I don't feel everything is fair in life. I don't know why, because because I'll tell you why, because I think that you probably do a lot of good work and you probably get challenged and you're probably wondering, why am I fucking challenged? So what I'm asking is, why is karma? Because for me, truth is very important. The truth is very important. And the truth isn't external. The truth is internal. So what is it about karma, do you think? What is it about doing the right thing with you? Why do you think doing the right thing is right for you?
Well, let's just start off by saying it's not a religious thing. I don't believe in that much.
Okay,
because I'm very profound in history and where we came from, actually one of my biggest heroes is Billy Carson. I don't know if you know him.
No, Billy
So it's a
Carson.
lot of it's a guy breaking down ancient texts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's actually breaking down where the Bible actually came from, because and stuff like that. Anyway, we don't want to get into all that, but
We
it's
can,
really,
but go ahead. Go ahead. No, don't worry. We can talk about everything. Go ahead.
But karma for me, I know that you actually right, Steve. It's not always fair.
No.
You can do nice things and you can treat everyone. And people, sadly, in this day of age, they take goodness for weakness, right?
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They
And,
do.
and at that point, you just have to have the switch button ready. You can help.
Yes.
And I'm just starting to learn it now at 45. I'm
Yeah.
always there. I'm almost there,
You're
but
almost.
for my whole life, I've been this good person and helping without actually receiving anything. So just be a lot of help, and you spend a lot of time giving and giving, and people just want more and more.
Yeah.
But business wise, I'm starting to learn that you have to be a little bit firm, because people they just want to eat you up. When you give, they just want to take everything. And that's the shitty attitude, and you cannot change people. But I wanna stay somewhere in the middle, and I'm just trying to find that ground now. It's not easy, because I wanna help,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's a business, right?
In
So,
the next 10 years, I'll tell you what's going to
probably.
No, yeah. But in the next 10 years, I'll tell you what's going to happen to you. Whether you like it or not, you're going to develop wisdom, because you can only have wisdom to look back decades. You can only look back to have wisdom. You can't look forward. You can only look back.
No.
And it's funny because you said that fine line. It's funny when I talk to Chris, I'll say to Chris, that's going to fuck up. And I'm like, and when I say that to Chris, I'm not saying it because I want it to fuck up. I'm very sad that it's coming. But I'm telling Chris, get ready. It's going to fuck up. Because I know I don't want it to break. I don't want it to go wrong. But I know from history, it's coming. So I'm prepared, even though I don't want it to happen. So sometimes you're going to fine tune yourself, and you're going to know this isn't going to work. Though you want it to work, though you're hoping it will work, but because your past experience is going to tell you these are the signs, and these signs tell me it's not going to work.
Definitely.
So
I actually think it's pretty sad that you need to be a little bit more rough with people that I want to. But sadly, I'm trying to understand that it's, that's the way to go if you wanna succeed in your business. That people will take you seriously. You have to have you can't be available at any time, because people take it as as weakness. That's stupid. For me, I was doing a good thing by being available. People could text me at 11 night, and they like how to take your supplements, and I would advise them. But it's not very appreciative. So I'm trying to And in the States, actually, people cannot even talk to me. They write a mail, and it goes through my production team. And maybe they can talk to, but and most of our sales is in the States. Here in Denmark is like 5% at the most. 5% of the total sale is here. And actually, we just got approved on Amazon, so our products are going on Amazon next month. This month.
Yes.
I just haven't have the time to, fill up the shop. But the shop is there, and Amazon, they're pretty strict about medication and fitness supplements. They're actually pretty strict.
Oh, that's good.
So that's a big thing. So that's nice. And I bought the Mexico and States and the Canada side.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's nice.
I saw you got Mexico, Canada, and USA. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, no, I hope
people are not used.
I wish you well. Let's talk about.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Let's talk about 18 years old when you were training.
The good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff
is coming.
They're training twice a day. You were eating all you could find. You actually were doing kickboxing and K1.
Yeah.
And you were doing weights like bodybuilding, and
Yeah.
you were saying that it all started at the age of 15, and by the time you turned 18, people couldn't believe what they saw, especially in photos, that you were huge. Tell us about that journey and why twice a day, which I have heard bodybuilders training twice a day. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Steve, if you want to, I can send you the one picture at 18. I actually found it
Yeah.
because I lost a lot of stuff by moving back from Florida. But the one picture is actually pretty funny because you can see in my face that I'm very young,
Yes.
but the body is extreme, and it was natural still, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, I found the old book that Arnold made, the old one, the
Everyone
very
read
thick
Arnold's
book that
book.
he made.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
And
didn't,
that's the
but everyone
program.
read Arnold's book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty big at the time. Well, actually, one of my ex-girlfriends gave it to me as a birthday present. So,
Yeah.
and I just followed I think step 2 in there, and you were working out twice a day.
Right.
So you would do the whole body 3 times a week. So every second day, just work out for one
Yeah. I remember
gym
that.
session.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say you were doing arms in the morning. You
Yeah.
go back in the afternoon and do chest and back,
Yeah.
and the day after would be legs,
Yep.
and you do it again like 3 times, and only Sunday free. So it was like extreme,
Yeah.
like and yeah, of course I was natural, and I was eating so much, and I was doing my kickboxing also, and I I wasn't aware of what I was doing. I was breaking down muscle because of the so much like activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just eating and eating, and I was weighing like 70 kilos, and I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to put on weight. And then I started to look into like Arnold's journeys, like, okay, maybe I should go there. Maybe I should, like sell everything that I have and just move there to be,
I
to
know.
be
What
in
a
the body.
big
Yeah.
move. Go ahead. Yeah.
And I was 17. We were still living in France at the time. So the plan for me was to come back to Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, I sold everything that I had, and I gathered some money from my mother also. My father wasn't very big on the idea. He was like, no, you just fuck bodybuilding, go to school,
Yeah.
usual stuff,
Yeah. Of
usual
course.
parent stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, and remember I had $100, which was okay at the time. This is 97,
Yeah.
90, 97, 90, 98.
Yeah.
And I just went to Florida with my one-way ticket and $100 in, and just like a backpack.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I had no one there, no relations, nowhere to sleep, nothing. And by the first week, I was a personal trainer in Gold's Gym actually,
Yes, that's right.
and
Gold's Gym. Yes, personal trainer. Go ahead.
yeah, I was 17. I had no education, but I was buff. People would look up to me because I looked like someone who could teach them, right?
Right. Yes.
And one girl that was working there, reception, I started living with her for like a couple of $100 for a month,
Yep.
and she had a really nice flat just next to the beach.
Yes.
And everyone at that time was taking cocaine. It was very big in Miami, and I was like, this is pretty easy to be better because everyone was a drug addict. Everyone.
How did you discipline? How did you handle it?
Well, I would stay when people would go out to party. I was always stay at the gym. So like I was
Wow.
I was working there, just cleaning the gym, and actually meeting a lot of that's how I actually met a lot of clients, because I was staying there at night when everyone else of the staff was going home or going out partying. I was staying there by just cleaning the whole thing and maybe working out again. And
Yes.
actually, I found out at the nighttime I would meet so many clients, because people were a little bit tipsy, they were on drugs, they were more easy to talk to because they were all. So I like, and they're just looking at me. It's like, how can you look like this all the time? She's like, because I'm not taking drugs. I'm not taking breaks.
Wow.
I'm doing the same thing every day. It's like, yeah, but you're young. You don't have to go out and parties. Like, no, I don't. I actually enjoy the quietness, and I just loved it. Oh yeah, and by the way, when I was because that girl that I was talking about, she didn't like that I wouldn't go with her to all these parties.
Mm.
So I actually one of the managers in Gold's Gym just gave me a little small room in upstairs of the Gold's Gym. I was just living up there, so it was my biggest dream. I had a flat upstairs inside of Gold's Gym actually
Wow.
for a whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
it was
you
so nice.
did you did you aspire to become a professional bodybuilder? Were you wanting to compete?
No, never actually, never.
You
I
could have,
just
you
I
know,
just
the way
wanted to
you were
be.
going, the way
I
you
think
were, you
so.
could
I
have.
think so. Yeah, but I was afraid of two things: injuries and steroids.
Yeah, yeah, of
Actually,
course, of course. I understand that part. Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
a lot of people at that time when they saw me, it's like, no, you should compete. Let me train you. Let me guide you
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like just
yeah.
this the pack that you have to take. And I was like, no, it's just always the fear. Oh yeah, one big thing, Steve, that I want to bring up. I actually lost one of my closest friends to steroids. Actually, I didn't tell you,
Oh, well,
and
tell
that's
me.
actually a big thing.
Whoa.
It's a big thing of why I'm actually scared. Or
Yeah.
but this is later in life. I was about 25 and
Hmm.
he was about 33.
Yep.
He was my biggest inspiration in bodybuilding. He was weighing about like 150 kilos.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is in pound, but
No, we do
300 pounds or
kilos. We
something.
do kilos here. We do
Okay, oh
kilos.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Kilos like normal people.
Yeah, like normal
Yeah.
people. That's right.
And he was like 140, 145 kilos when he died at 33. He was doing drugs, he was doing steroids.
Mhm.
Um, but he was my biggest inspiration. We were training together, and when he died, I was like, "Fuck, this is real. The people actually
Wow.
die from this."
What
But I
was it?
was
What
scared
did he
already.
die from? What did he die from? Do you think? I don't think it was directly steroids, but obviously something
No,
could.
no, no. It was just because it's just the heart that is growing and growing and growing, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, if Dallas, I don't know if you remember the young kid Dallas McCarver.
No.
Dallas McCarver died of an oversized heart. He was 26. He was a professional bodybuilder, actually Olympia guy. Rich
Wow.
Piana is same thing. His heart was weighing about 1,200 grams,
Rich
and it's
Piana
supposed to weigh
was.
about.
I mean, he seemed like he was a
Yeah,
freak. He was a freak.
yeah. He was a freak, but I was enjoying his videos. He was
Five
actually the
percent.
first
Five
guy that I
percent.
started.
5%.
Yeah, I was enjoying his videos so much. He was actually the first guy that I started to like want to watch his videos. He was so.
You
I
you
think he was
also
honest.
you also liked.
Most
Sorry, but say that again.
I think he was honest. What I liked about him, he was honest about everything, but I think he didn't share the drug use. I think there was some drug use there because of one of his girlfriends actually was pretty yeah,
Look, I
but he shared
think,
everything.
yeah. Sometimes what you see in front of the camera isn't necessarily all
No,
rainbows and unicorns. But
no.
then you told me it was Dorian Yates, and what was the other bodybuilder that you liked? You liked what was his name? You liked Dorian Yates, and I'm trying to find the name.
Well, Dorian is my favorite, or maybe it could be Nasser El
Nasser
Sonbati. I think.
Sonbati. Yeah,
Yeah, Sonbati. He was an Egyptian guy.
yeah.
He was, but the thing for me why Dorian Yates stands out
Why?
is he's still alive. Dorian is still alive. Nasser is dead,
Yeah.
sadly. But Dorian Yates is living in Marbella, and I have my big brother in Marbella. So
In Spain.
his wife,
Mm.
yeah, in Spain, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I inspired to go and have a training session with him at one point because he's still doing personal training.
Oh,
So
that'd
it
be
would be so much
awesome.
fun. Yeah, just before he's too old to like, I
Mm.
just I, I just want to make it before he's too old.
He,
But
I remember when Dorian Yates beat Lee Haney. Obviously, Lee
yeah, oh yeah,
Haney, I think he won 8 Olympias. I think
yeah,
he
he
won.
was insane.
He was inside Lee
He
Haney.
was a freak.
But you know
Yeah,
what's, yeah, and then Dorian Yates came along. And actually, Dorian Yates came to Australia one time. It was,
really.
yeah, yeah. it was back then when he was doing Olympia, and it was his off season.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
when he came out on stage, his off season, he looked 2 times me. Like when I saw him, that's when I realized bodybuilding was unattainable for me. Like I could not reach that level. Like it's impossible. Like impossible to get to that level, even if I wanted to. He was insane.
Yeah.
And he was quite the bodybuilder, let me tell you.
Yeah. I just liked him because of I liked the size monsters. And after the Arnold era started, like him and NASA was the guys that actually was so big but still conditioned.
Yes.
Still in good shape. But the funny thing about Yates, he actually just went away for a whole year, down in a little basement, just working out.
Yeah.
No mirrors, no nothing. He had this crazy training partner, right? They're always screaming at him. Like you can see on. Yeah. And he just works his ass off, and that's it. And that's what I liked about him is, for me, he's way better than Arnold. In my book, Dorian Yates is one of the greatest bodybuilders ever.
Yeah, wow, big call. But yes. I think I think he is one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. Speaking about basements, don't you have a basement gym, or is your gym called Basement?
Yeah, I have. I have my personal little spot because I'm very tired of commercial gyms.
Yes.
And actually during Corona, I think Corona.
Yeah, of course, Corona. Yeah.
Like this.
Yep, we know that.
I just started, yeah. Everything was shut down here in Denmark. You cannot work out. And I started, and gym equipment was so expensive because everyone was trying to build something.
I remember
that. Just like rubber bands was doing like extreme, like a couple of hundred of euros just for like a rubber band because people were taking advantage of the situation, right?
They were.
And I just started building. I have 2 rooms, one with weights and one with cardio. And just me and my wife there, and my biggest daughter, and some of my athletes. Sometimes the people that I help and people that I help here in the clinic. Sometimes they come and just like we just have our own little spot. It's nice.
So tell me, you mentioned. When did you mentioned growing up you wanted to help people? Academia was something you were pretty good at, and you wanted to do physiotherapy. Yeah. There was something there. Again, why at such a young age did you want to do this kind of career or work?
Well, actually, Steve, it's a pretty good question. I don't know what the drive is actually, because I was, of course, in the gym at an early age, but way before that, I was looking into magazines. It wasn't bodybuilding at the time. It was more like combat sport magazines. And I was looking at, and I was like, but these people need someone to take care of them. Yeah. They need some professional. I don't even know where it came from, but the physical therapy thing, I knew it from an early age. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
But the love from the bodybuilding, it combines well because I have a lot of athletes here, and I also have elderly people also with all kinds of sickness, right? But I have a lot of athletes. 80% of my customers are athletes, bodybuilders, fighters. So that's nice.
Yeah,
it's easy.
It is. Well,
it's easy for me because I love what I'm. Yeah.
Well, I know that you love. I just want to also. You mentioned that you got a French father, a Danish mother. Yeah. You speak a bit of Spanish too, but you also mentioned that 3 years old, your family moved to North Africa. Then Morocco first, and then back to France. What did your dad do? Why moving around so much?
Well, actually, he was in the French military for a lot of years, and they were in the 60s and 70s. They were very big in North Africa, Algeria, Morocco. Yeah. By rebuilding the countries, right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of North Africa speak French today.
Yep.
Or like second language anyway.
Yeah.
So he was doing a lot of work, and we were moving around a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, we were going back and forth to Denmark in our summer holidays.
Yeah.
But most of the part we stayed in Nice and Lyon, in pretty good cities in France. Nice is not what you hear about, like is this hype thing when Hollywood people are coming there. It's I think it's a good city and relaxed, but a lot of North African people there also, but people with money. So it's pretty mellow. I think people are chill. They don't. There's not a lot of crime. There's not a lot of people are minding their own business.
There's three places down south. There's Monte Carlo, there's Nice.
Oh yeah.
And where else? What else?
Yeah. I think Saint-Tropez, but Saint-Tropez is so much expensive. It's insane. It's getting out of hand. Monaco, of course, right?
Yeah, Monaco.
Monaco, you have to see it. Yeah.
I remember I've been to Nice, and I found Nice.
But that's nice.
Yeah, I've been to Monte Carlo. I've been to the three places you mentioned, but I think in Nice.
Yeah.
When I went, it was the early 90s, and apparently, there was a stigma that certain places in Europe there was a lot of pickpocketing, and Nice was a bit known for pickpockets. A lot of gypsies. There was a lot of gypsies in Nice. Yeah. In Nice,
I think because it's known for people with money. And the tourists that comes there are people, well, supposedly with money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of there's yourself at night, taking a walk on the beach. You have to be very careful. That's still going on. Sadly, that's still going on. It's still the same. Yeah.
I haven't been to Denmark. I've been to Northern Europe, but I haven't been to Denmark. I should come to Denmark. But I want to do a hot topic, and the hot topic for us is the UN World Happiness Report was released last week, and Denmark was ranked the world's second happiest country. For a sixth consecutive year, well done, guys. Finland is number one, holding it for 7 years. Why Denmark? It's social equality, community spirit. And I'll let you know, Australia is in the top 10. We are 9th. We even got above Switzerland. And apparently, poor New Zealand, it didn't get into the top 10. So why are you guys the happiest country in the world? And is it true? Is it true?
Well, no. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think people in I don't know, maybe some places like, well, I think Australia would be a place where people would be more happy actually.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
The ranking so high is because I think so. I think why they are ranking so high is because of the quality or the quantity of help that you can get from your government. You can get money if you want to go to school. You can get help if you want to open a business. You can get help in so many ways. I think, and of course the hospital, the whole industry is free. There's a lot of free stuff, but people are working crazy hours here. Yeah. The most of the people are working 2 jobs because things are very expensive. I think we are beside Norway. I think we are the most expensive city in Europe. Actually, Copenhagen. I think so. I think it's only Oslo that is more expensive. So people are working hard, and they're not. I don't think that they seem that happy. They're working hard the whole week, and the weekends you can see them enjoying themselves, right?
Yeah.
But I think why we are ranking so high is because of the amount of help that you can get from your government if you want to.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
There's
maybe.
there is a lot of opportunities.
It's funny because
There is a lot of opportunities.
there's a lot of what?
There's a lot of opportunities if you want to do something with your life, right? You can go to school and get paid. You can take a lot of there's a lot of educational systems that actually pay like a normal salary while you are going to school, right?
Right.
And I think if you want to achieve something with your life, there's a lot of help.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting, it's interesting because sometimes government agencies are voted in and you wonder why they're voted in. Apparently Austria is known as the most miserable country. I've had two Austrians on here and
Really?
and they seem
Okay.
lovely. They seem very happy.
I think yeah, I think Austria would be a nice place, actually. I think Austria would be a nice place, or Holland or something like that. Holland is pretty mellow. Everybody is happy. They're taking drugs and just being happy.
Ah, that's, I mean, not
No,
that I'm a drug taker, but God's sake, maybe I've got to.
no, me neither. Me neither.
um,
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't see people here in Denmark being that happy. Actually, they're working their asses off, and
yeah.
most people are struggling. Like 50% are struggling.
Well,
Working
I think,
two jobs,
yeah.
a lot of divorces, and we are a country that takes most drugs and drinks way more than any country in Europe. That's a fact. We are drinking more alcohol than any country in Europe. So I don't know where the happiness comes from. Maybe from drinking.
Maybe, maybe bribes. Maybe bribes.
Yeah, bribes. Yeah,
Someone's
of
bribing.
course, of course.
Um, so you're 44 and you do injury treat.
45.
Oh, 45. Sorry, in September you turn 45. That's right. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, mate.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you, Steve.
yeah, happy birthday, brother. 45, and
Thank
you
you.
do injury treatment, massage, um, you do combat massage, or you ease the pain. Tell us about,
Yeah,
you treat 2 to 4 athletes a day, only so you can
yeah,
focus on your own training. So tell us about that.
yeah. Well, I had a lot of fighters, a lot of bodybuilders. I have people, just elderly people suffering from, normal stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't do regular massage. I have another person that like does that. So for me, it's like when it's something extreme or like challenging. I want something, challenging when people come with like completely, back to like this or something
Yeah.
like extreme or yeah. And I have a 90 minutes session, and it's I do three of them a day, and that's it for me because I have to it takes a lot of strength,
Yeah.
and I want to put the rest of my time if my into my empower business, still making new products and making the labels and talking to people the rest of the day, and making lives on TikTok and on YouTube soon. We're
Yes.
actually starting this month on YouTube because I think the time on TikTok is it could be better spent. Sometimes you're sitting like an hour or 2 hours talking with people on the live, but it's too limited. I think.
Yeah.
And because we are talking so much about this product, Steve,
Yep.
this one,
Yep.
this is ashwagandha.
Yeah.
This is our best seller in the shop.
What's in
Already
that?
sold
What's
about
in that? What
3,000
is
units.
in that?
Ashwagandha is root from India,
Yep.
and it's a testosterone booster,
Yes.
natural testosterone booster, and it does so many great things for it. Better sleep
Mhm.
and helps your boost testosterone by 20% in the first month.
Uh-huh.
It boosts something called DHEA. It's a precursor that makes free testosterone also.
Yep.
So just for people that want to go the natural route is pretty good. I actually take them now.
Mhm.
I take two a day because we're not that young.
Yeah, no, no, no.
And it helps. It helps libido, blood flow, everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this is the best. I actually forgot my point. But,
Your point was
oh,
your point was besides you said 2 to 4 clients, which take about 90 minutes per client, and then you focus on your training. You were saying how you're trying to grow your business. You were doing TikTok, but you're looking more on YouTube, doing stuff on there, and obviously then you just showed off your product, which is good.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I remember, because on TikTok they are very quick to ban your account because TikTok thinks that we're talking about steroids, but we're actually talking about how to avoid steroids.
Yeah.
So it's actually the opposite. But because of a lot of my videos with hashtags steroids, because I wanna show people that they can do something else.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of my athletes, people are coming off steroids and taking ashwagandha in instead, or at least taking ashwagandha with their cycles, so you can keep a little bit of your own testosterone going. So it doesn't shut down.
Yeah, what's going on with the world with this constant conversation about testosterone? Why is testosterone under attack, and why is it diminishing? I can't remember my dad. Unfortunately, my dad's passed away, but I can't remember my dad sitting with his mates talking about testosterone.
No. It's getting more and more like people know that you have to have testosterone in your body, especially as a male. If you don't have it, you get depressed, you get fat, you get tired. You don't have you have no libido. But people now, they're searching everywhere, and I think the industry are taking advantage of people and ashwagandha is the best testosterone booster. Don't buy any testosterone booster out there, by the way. If you see something testosterone booster, just find something that is called ashwagandha.
I'm going to write that down again.
Clean and
ashwagandha.
Take ashwagandha that is making. Well, Steve, I will send a couple of these to you.
Please do.
My gift to you.
All right.
Yeah,
send us. And if
I just need a. This is our very best seller.
Yeah, send it. I'll put it on display. Don't worry, I'll talk about it and.
Just take them and just give us your honest opinion.
I will. And I'll tell you what I'm like at the gym if I'm pumping the bench press before I take Viagra, and then if I take Viagra, I'll let you know what else I'm humping. If I'm humping a lot, I'll let you know.
Just 2 ashwagandhas a day and Viagra. That's it. You
look out all the single women. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They already got to look out for. No, I shouldn't talk about it. Don't say anything, Chris, and don't put this out there. We don't want. We don't want some of the influencers grabbing onto this. God's sake.
Take it out.
We've had some funny stories with some influencers. Let me tell you, they've really tried to pop our balloons, but thank God we got plenty of balloons. Let me see where else.
But still, actually, I was. My intention, I was so busy, but my intention was to send you beforehand the best selling products. So you just not because I want the more exposure, just so you can appreciate you more.
Well,
that's all.
Just to let you know, your podcast will probably be launched in 6 weeks. All right, that's when your podcast will be launched, in 6 weeks. So you've got 6 weeks to send it to me. And then when we launch it, I might be able to coincide it a little bit for you. Okay?
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, that's all right.
I'm actually starting up on YouTube. Thank you.
You know what? I really believe in helping businesses. I think too many people want to believe they are the business, but I think when you help each other, I think at the end of the day,
it would be better. It would be.
I think at the end of the day, what I'm saying is me helping you won't hinder my business. So even me giving you a bit of a plug, oh my God, I mean, we do so many podcasts. Why couldn't we offer a little bit of help your way? So of course I'd want to help you out.
Thank you so much.
You also mentioned that you mentioned that a lot of bodybuilders come to you because they feel understood. What does understood mean? Even fighters fighters and bodybuilders come to you, but they feel understood. What does understood mean?
Let me put it this way, Steve. When I opened my clinic, I wasn't aiming for bodybuilders or fighters. It just became that way because people like us, even me when I was young, I actually went to Gold's Gym to find people like me because we stand so much out of the crowd. Yeah. So people, they come here, they've been to us, other physical therapists, and it's not that they cannot do their job, but it's not the same if you don't have the background in, bodybuilding or combat sport. Yeah. They can do the injury treatment because they learned and they have the the education to treat them, but it's not the same. With me, I have the background also, so we speak the same language. Yeah. It's like it's pretty easy. I can tell you, when I was younger and I had my discus prolapse, I was 25. Yep. I found a chiropractor that was a bodybuilder. I was so lucky because he was understanding when I tell him about deadlifts, and he was like, yeah, okay, that's how you got injured. But otherwise you're like speaking a whole different language to some people, right? Yeah. And that's why people love it here, because they come. We talk about stuff. I give them extra time to and after the treatment, we just sit down and cup of coffee and talk about stuff. I think that they can feel that I have the passion to help, but the passion for the sport especially. So if I feel that people actually, I actually heard you, Steve, talk about the physical therapy on one of your episodes with your son and yourself, I think. Yeah.
Oh, where I said that it seems like he doesn't educate my son. I asked him, how come my son go on?
They just want to sell more and more.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
They just want to sell more and more. For me, the thing that I do here when people come, if they ask me when should I come back, it's like, okay, maybe 10 days, but I never sell them the next thing. Yeah. Speaking of being a good salesperson, right? Yeah. Normally people is like, here is your next appointment. I'll never do that. I'll never do it. Yeah. But if we are in the middle of a certain treatment and I know that I need to finish and I have one more session, then it's okay. But normally it's like, when do I need to come back? I'm like, whenever you feel like it. Yeah. It's up to you.
I felt go on.
I can tell you my professional take, but it's up to you. And of course, when they're finished, I always give them the exercises totally free. Yeah. And if I can see that they are not doing them and they're not ready, next time I'm like, no, I cannot help you, because you have to, it's way more important to do your exercises and have a healthy day and eat healthy and train and work out and do your stuff. For me, I cannot do all that for them, right? I can treat the injury, but if they don't want to do the post work, then it's completely a waste of time.
I found two things when I had inflammation between my L3 and L4. I discovered a physiotherapist, and he was sensational. He gave me some exercises and kept saying to me, I'll see you in a week.
Come back in 2 weeks.
And then come back in 2 weeks, come back in 4 weeks, come back in 8 weeks. Like, he knew exactly what to do. And you know what? I really respected him, and I learned something from him. But the funny thing is, my son goes to this physio, and unfortunately I'm separated or divorced, and my ex-wife, you could put anything in the mailbox and she'll pay for it. Doesn't really matter. But
I know.
And I found that when my son.
I have it exactly the same. Sorry.
What was that? Say it again.
No, I just have the same experience with my ex-wife. It's the same. You just send her something, she would pay it right away.
Yeah, well, and I used to say I'm going to put my own pamphlets in the mailbox so I can get paid for myself for giving you advice, But the thing is, when my son was going to the physio, I could see my son panic. He'd be at the park. He was 16, 15, 14. And he'd fall over and he'd limp home, like limp. And then before I know it, he was seeing this physio. And I said to the guy, I actually confronted him. I said, listen, I said, it's great that you're working on my son. But the thing is, this guy's going to fall off skateboards, off brick walls. He's going to get smashed in the waves. Does he have to come and see you? Does he have to come and see you every time he's hurt? I mean, if I talked about the amount of times I fell off my bike and I limped home, I'm okay. Like, I mean, we don't need it. But like you said, this guy, he's a real salesman. When I go into his reception, he's got TV screens going. He's got pillows over here. He's got, what doesn't he sell? He sells everything. You know, so look, there are people like that, but I don't recommend them.
No. And that's what I try to do. I try to keep it honest. People come here because they love it and they know that I put everything that I have in one session. I work my ass off. I'm sweating like crazy. Yeah. And you know, it's of course pretty big guys. These guys like me and up, right? Yeah. And even the women are like jacked, and you know, it takes a lot of grease to get through like a muscle like a layer like this fat, right? Yeah. So it's pretty hard work, but I enjoy it because it's people that actually, you know, we can communicate, we speak the same language. And they look up to me because I have a past in bodybuilding for so many years. So yeah.
So tell me, just like myself, you also mentioned the love and passion to bodybuilding. Now, let's be honest here. I mean, I've seen you, and you're pretty big. Meaning, when I say you're big, you're a solid man. You're a solid bro that looks like he can exercise. You look like you can fight. You look like, you know, you could look, like I said, you look like your true masculine man. And myself, I enjoy bodybuilding too, but we don't look like competitors. We don't look like. No. But the thing is, I think what we have is decades of experience, aging well. We age well and we eat well. Yeah. So, why do you think, myself and you, why is that love affair in bodybuilding? Why is it so? Why can't you let it go? What does it do for you? Does it make you feel young? Do you feel I'll say this one. Do you feel like it's the remedy to growing old gracefully? Do you think it's like one of those magic youth, keeping your youth? Is that what you think bodybuilding is?
Yes, I actually do.
Yeah,
I think it's
I think it's a fountain of youth. I think it's the fountain of youth.
Yeah, it is in two cases actually. It keeps your mentality going. Is a kind of therapy. Yeah. It's an identity. Yeah. For us is who you are actually. Yeah. And secondly, it's an anti-aging. It's the best anti-aging actually. Keep working out. Keep your blood flow. Keep your muscles going. Everything, you know, you just feel great. But for me, it's not. I can honestly say that I was probably go to the gym as as far as I can push and like 80 or 85, I'm still probably going. You know, it's you can see how Ronnie Coleman he's completely broken down. His back, his knees, everything. He still goes out. He's still working out. Yes, he still goes there because he need that. You know, he need the smell of the weights and. Yeah, it's the same. I could never stop working out. But yeah, I think it's the number one anti-aging. Yeah,
I think as well for bodybuilding, myself, and what I see. I think for me, bodybuilding, and I see it kind of for you too, though. But I feel that one, it's anti-aging. That's one. I feel as well, it gives us a sense of masculinity. I think it helps us feel masculine. Yeah. And also, because we know with bodybuilding, it can be abused with drugs, both recreational drugs and sporting drugs. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
But what I feel like, if you haven't abused the sport and you've eaten well, hydrate well, you do enjoy the odd vodka, you do enjoy going out, a barbecue, you enjoy food, you enjoy a good pizza, you enjoy training. But I think it also helps you sexually. I think bodybuilding is such an endorphin for all that, for you to hold. I think everyone accepts growing old and losing everything, where with myself, fuck that. I'll do anything not to lose masculinity, muscularity, and even sexual drive. Fuck, that would be hell. And I feel bodybuilding is the only answer to sustaining it as long as you can. What do you think?
Yeah. I think you're totally right, Steve, because when you go and work out, like heavy weights is proven to increase libido and increase testosterone production, right? So it's proven fact that when you go and work out, especially when you do heavy weights, it's proven to keep your libido and your sexual needs going. So that's it. And of course, you have this great feeling of endorphins getting, pumped out of your system, and testosterone. It's the best feeling ever. Imagine not going and just like you'd be like a normal person going to your job and going home again. It's like no wonder why people are so low on energy, right?
But I think everyone accepts it, and I think at the end of the day, why would you accept losing something? Imagine not having attraction to yourself, but attraction to your partner or the opposite sex, or the same sex. Let's not go too. Just one moment, Chris. Can you make sure that cockatoo doesn't destroy my battery? There's this cockatoo that comes to my house, and it comes to eat biscuits. So, Chris, if you want to give it a biscuit, that's what it wants. This thing wants a biscuit. If you open up the cupboard, I know, Chris, we're going to do this on the podcast. If you open up, top shelf. See there, the biscuits? Yeah, open that up and give that bird one. It's a funny bird. I've got two birds that come to my house, and one's called Biscuit. I don't know what I call the other one. They're they're wild birds, cockatoos. But they come for Scotch fingered biscuits. So it'll even eat it from your hand, Chris. Watch it, see. So it's quite. Throw it on the grass. It'll be all right. Okay. Throw it on the grass. Yeah. I'm just laughing. There you go. So that's it. It was attacking my screen door. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Oh yeah.
So these two things I want to talk about quickly. That I heard on social media last night, and one that I read from your Facebook, which I found quite enlightening. One is about steroids. And there was a post about a guy, not you, and he spoke about how long should a steroid cycle go for. And a lot of people are confused on the answer to that. And his first and foremost answer to that was, it depends on what you're taking. So in relation to doses, not all doses are the same when it comes to steroids, correct? So there's different doses, correct? Is that right in saying that, Bryan?
Yeah. I think people are the new age of bodybuilders are abusing steroids in a crazy amount. They're taking so excessive amounts, and they're starting with the most. Now you see youngsters here, for instance, in my clinic. I talk to youngsters. They're in their 20s. They're doing their first cycle. What is it? Trenbolone, the very most toxic one.
The most toxic I've heard.
But why did we? Totally, and it's pretty dangerous, because you have the tren cough when you wake up in the middle of the night with the feeling of someone strangling you.
Oh my God!
You have this taste of iron. I've never tried it, obviously, but I've heard the same stories, right? People waking up have the feeling of being just like strangled.
Yeah.
And it's the most toxic one. Of course, it's pretty effective, but the side effects are extreme. And it's the first cycle now that just jumps to masterone or trenbolone, like the heavy stuff, right? The heavy hitters.
Have you taken any
I'm like,
steroids? Have you ever taken steroids ever?
I've tried once in my whole life,
What did you do?
and
What was your cycle?
it was Deca,
Yeah.
Deca, and Primobolan and Parabolan. It was back in those days.
How was it?
It was shit.
Oh.
It was shit because I was doing a great job without.
Okay.
I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it for 3 months, and the guy that I was about 20 years old, I think.
Yeah.
20
Okay.
when I came back. So I did it after Miami, and after I went back to Denmark and everything. I think I was in a depression phase. I was like, no, I need like a boost. But it just showed me that I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. It was a waste of time. And after a couple of months, you go back to the same. So if you don't want to keep doing it, it's
Yeah. Well, my first cycle was at 49. I took a cycle at 49.
Okay.
I know, 49.
Okay.
Get ready. You're going to take one just before 50, mate. Just before 50, you'll take a cycle. And the
No, for me, I'll do growth. I'll do growth.
all right, GH. But the thing is,
GH, I would never touch steroids, but maybe we can get into that because I will take it with my wife and I'll explain it why if you want to.
Please.
Because it's a bit of science there. Yeah. But you can finish, Stevie, if you want.
Oh, I was just going to say, no, I've said it so many times, but I think I took some of the toxic ones, but
Yeah?
I have
Which
to
ones?
say, I've never touched.
Which ones?
I've got to write it down, but I think I took Tren, and I think I took.
Tren?
Yeah, but I took Tren. No, but I took Tren towards the end. I didn't, even though that rhymes like a poet.
Okay.
I took Tren towards the end.
Yeah.
I've got it written down. I can't remember. It was like I said, I'm 55. It's 6 years ago. But yeah, I found it interesting. It was the only time, 49, that I tried it. I tried 2 cycles.
Okay.
And to be honest, it was an interesting time because I was turning 50 and I decided not about taking steroids. I was already dieting very well. I was leaning up, ripping up. It was like I was clockwork. So in other words, it wasn't like I just took a cycle and I was going out and I was eating bad. I actually was like really fine-tuned for turning 50. So if you go to my personal Instagram, you'll actually see me at 49 training, and you'll freak out. You'll freak.
Wow.
You will freak out. Like I was so muscular, so ripped. I've always waxed my body, but I was lasering. I was lasering. I was getting my nails done.
Nice.
Everything, manicure, pedicures, facials. Everything was gearing up to turning to turning 50 because I wanted to look pristine, and it worked. It worked, but it worked. But
You're feeling better. You're feeling better when you take care of yourself.
Yeah, but I didn't take it. Meaning, I didn't take a cycle if I was eating hamburgers and I didn't care. I cared so much, but
I understand you.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in it right now. I could be corrected, but at the moment, I'm not interested because, like yourself, what I realized was it still meant I had to go to the gym. It still meant I had to eat well. It still meant I had to train hard. It still meant I had to recover. Steroids was just the cream on top. It was just a little bit of sprinkled dust, a little bit of sprinkled dust. That's all it was.
Yeah, and I think the recovery time for your thyroid, the one that actually produces your own hormones, it takes so long, especially in our age. If we took a cycle now, it would take so long for your own testosterone to come back.
Yes.
So I don't want to do that.
No.
Okay.
Talk about GH. Let's go back to GH.
Yeah, yeah. So that one is a different ball game.
Yeah.
I'm all up for it
Yeah.
because it's doing something that's called hyperphagia. Hyperphagia in is when your own cells are divided
Yeah.
in two,
Yep.
and two is divided in four, and so on. Um, I can tell you a little bit about my wife. She's suffering from epilepsy
Yeah, I've got it. You've tell me
and
about your wife,
something
please.
called,
Yes.
yeah,
And her brain cells.
and something called and something called ataxia. Ataxia is when you have the little brain
Yeah.
wasting, so the cells are dying so fast.
Oh
And when you
no.
don't have the backside of your brain, it's the focus, is the balance. If you see the videos when I'm training her,
Yeah.
the balance is shit. So I'm always looking out so she doesn't fall.
Yeah.
And one answer to that could be stem cells, right?
Yes.
Here in Denmark, they don't want to help her because they are not legal yet. They told me that they're not safe enough, so they don't want to take the risk.
Yeah.
But the truth is it costs too much.
You
It
have to go
costs
to
about
Colombia.
like
You have to go to Colombia.
yeah. Colombia or Panama.
Panama, yeah.
Panama is great
Yeah.
because I don't know if you know who Joe Rogan is, but
Yes.
I've talked to him a couple of times, just mailing back and forth. He's been in Panama. He has like a, no, that's different. But Mel Gibson's father went there. He went from sitting in a wheelchair to actually not walking but pacing around
Yep.
like almost running at 102 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it with her. We found a source here in Denmark where we can buy it, and I have a place where we could test it to see if it's the real deal.
Yeah.
I have two advices for people that's starting on growth. You have to do your blood work.
Yep.
You have to check for cancer cells,
Yep.
because if you have cancer cells in your body, they will divide them as well.
Oh God. Yeah,
So
go
that's
on.
yeah, that is the only thing you have to check. You have to check your heart. Your heart is not too big, and you have to check for cancer cells, because if you have cancer cells in your body, they will multiply with the speed of
Wow. Okay.
sound.
Yeah.
And for me, I would do 6 months with her, starting before Christmas actually. So it's pretty soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You can train harder. You can even love life is gonna get
Oh,
more
beautiful.
interesting. That's the whole thing.
I love
So
the
for
love
me,
life. I love love life.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
life
oh
and
yeah,
bodybuilding. They're
definitely.
the two of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah, me as well. It is like the first place together. We share a first place.
Yeah, no, it's home
But yeah,
base. Home
so
base.
I was actually going to do a little so people can follow her on YouTube. They
Yeah.
can follow her journey,
Yeah.
and I will do my journey is going to be a little secretive, I think.
Mhm.
But for me, it's just because I'm 45, and next time I'll take it maybe at 50. I'll take another one. But I'm very big on anti-aging, and I'm studying this guy called David Sinclair. He's a doctor in the States.
Mhm.
He's been on Joe Rogan for a couple of times. He's
Yep.
a pretty interesting guy. I found out that he's written a book actually.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of metformin and things that he's doing. And I think he's 60 or something, and he looks like a baby. His face is
Wow.
so smooth.
Yeah.
You should check him out, actually, Steve. David Sinclair he's an
David
insane
Sinclair.
guy.
I will, man. I will.
Yeah. And yeah, I actually looking forward to the growth.
How
growth
how
hormone and-
how how is how you coping there with your wife? I know you're helping her a lot. How are you coping with helping the love of your life and seeing that?
Well, it's been 30.
Yeah, go on.
Actually, I must say it's the hardest thing you can do ever, because you're watching it every day. You're watching her just struggling, just sometimes just to standing up without, and just going to get something, falling over, and it's a fine line between me wanting her to do more stuff, and when she's doing more stuff, I'm like, no, sit down, let me take care of it,
Oh yeah.
So because it's and actually here the 16th and the 17th and the 18th we're going to the hospital for 3 consecutive days, just to get the whole thing done again, EEG and everything, here in September. So it's next week actually.
I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, here in Denmark, we cannot get help for her. It's stem cells, and they don't want to give her stem cells. So now I'm trying our own path. and we're just buying the growth, and we're starting 6 months. By the way, the thing that I wanted to say, when you do 6 months of growth,
Yep.
when you check your last shot, you have 6 months after that when your cells are still multiplying.
Wow. Okay.
So actually, yeah, actually, when you're doing 6 months of growth, you're actually doing a whole year.
Wow. I didn't. I mean, I've heard about GH, but
Yeah.
obviously I've heard about stem cells. So you're a father of three girls, and apparently,
Yep.
you get on with your ex. You still get on with your ex. Is that right? Or maybe
Well,
no.
not that not not that much. It's not
Oh,
now we are in the lucky place where my daughter is turning 17 here in November.
yeah.
So now she can do what she wants. She comes, and because we
Uh,
have a very, very good relationship, we're so close.
okay.
And before it was, you have to make appointment with the mother and stuff like that. But
Ah.
we're,
Maybe I'm
we still
mistaken.
talk.
Maybe
There's
I'm
no
mistaken.
problem.
The closeness is with your daughter. Not. I
Oh yeah,
thought
yeah,
everyone was
yeah.
close. I go, God, everyone's close. That's pretty good.
Mhm. And everyone is taking care of my wife, even my biggest daughter that is not her daughter. She take care of her, and she knows, yeah, like we recently just took a trip to Sweden,
Yep.
and you just it's not the same. Me and my daughter, we are active. We're going like we're almost running where when we are walking, but when we have my wife with me,
Yeah.
she knows that you have to pace down and you have to take it a bit slow, and she's,
Okay.
you know, sometimes like come on, but still, it is what it is.
It is. So you got three daughters. Do you think once you
Yep.
had daughters, that's when you discovered you could understand women? Once you have daughters,
Yeah,
that's when you understand women. Until you have
definitely.
daughters, you don't understand them at all.
No, definitely. And the respect is brighter now. I always respected women.
Of
I
course.
look up to my mother my whole
Yes.
life. But when your first child is born and is a girl, you're
Yep.
starting to like, okay, yeah, maybe we should treat women better. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but it's not
what was that?
no, it's not easy. It's not easy having daughters, but they're great girls.
Yeah. So you predominantly train 6 to 7 days a week. So you don't have a rest day, and
Uh,
you also, I'm just reading here,
yeah,
and predominantly you train alone because of the escape and a bit of
yeah,
solace. Is that right?
yeah. I love my alone time, and I don't get it here at home as much.
Uh-huh.
If I want the alone time or working or a product or on a label or something, I have to use the night hours when everybody is sleeping.
Yeah.
But the gym time has always been my escape, always.
Yeah,
But
it
now
is my
it's even
escape.
better because I don't go to like a commercial gym. I go to my basement. I only have I don't have the main phone. I have and my extra phone. So only my wife or my daughter can call me there. That's it. So
Oh, yeah.
if the phone rings, I know that is something with her. Other than that, it's like just an hour and a half in complete quiet. I usually just turn off the light and just be there because we have some light coming in of the windows,
Yeah.
and I just enjoy myself. No music, no nothing, just you know therapy. And after
Yeah.
that, you completely. Oh my God, it's the best feeling.
Ah,
It's the best feeling.
it is very.
Total escape.
Ah,
Total escape.
no. It's.
It's
I
so
can't
nice.
do. I can't do life without going to the gym. Actually, no one can hang around with me
No,
if I
no,
don't
no.
do the gym. So.
Exactly. That is exactly. You would be insane.
I
You
would
would
be
be.
insane. I would be insane.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Hi, Yvonne here. I'm thrilled to be working with Steve from Muscle Talks. Please go to rockcreek.com.au and join in on the collaboration with Steve and use your Muscle Talks 10 discount code to buy any products that you'd like.
I'm going to go over the body now. We come towards the end of the podcast, so we're going to go over the
Yeah,
body. So, I'm going to tell you a body part, and then
yeah,
if you can tell me an exercise, just one exercise for it, sets and reps.
yeah,
It helps people.
yeah,
And if you don't
yeah.
train it, you don't train it.
I train everything.
Well, what about traps? Do you train traps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you do for traps?
Well, not, Actually, the best movement is the bar behind your back.
Yes.
Shrugs behind you.
Yep.
With bar and not dumbbells.
Yes.
And just and like I think it was Dorian Yates that actually said it best. Your traps are located behind.
Yes.
So people doing the bar in front or besides is stupid. Just keep it behind.
I agree.
This movement.
Yes.
Or this movement is also good.
How many sets and reps?
Set wise reps, I would do 15 to 20 reps because I need it's not a small muscle, but I needs a little bit more blood flow.
Yeah. And how many sets? How many sets?
I would do 2 exercises of four sets each.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And what about we'll go with the delts. What about back delts? The back delts. How do you train them?
Yeah. Well, I do the old version of when you bend down,
bend over flies.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Or just taking the cable and just pull it inside, but doing the the shrug movement. Yeah, so you get the traps and the back delts. But it's very important. Actually, the back delts was something that a lot of people lack because they you get it. Instead, I see a lot of people working the front delts, and the front delts are usually you get them in the bench press and a lot of press movements. So the front delts you don't really need. What you need to do if you want big shoulders is the press and lateral raises and the bend over lateral raises.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You don't need to work the front delts because you have the front delts. If you're bench pressing or you're pressing anything, you don't need it.
So you don't train front delts? You don't train front delts?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, I do so much press work, but back in the days when I didn't understand, I would do my shoulder workouts, the press, the lateral raises. I would do front raises. I still do them, but very rarely.
Okay.
Very rarely.
What about your side delts? What do you do for side delts?
That's the best part. I enjoy them.
Oh, sorry, I'm just telling Chris, this bird's going to ruin something at the front. It's still staying here. Get rid of it. Shoo it away, Chris. Just run to it. Just go away. Keep going, Chris.
Side delts, I think, is the most important move.
Yeah, go on. The side delts,
I think it's the most important one to have the look of your actually shoulder. So now is the one thing that I do every time I work out the delts. I do it with the dumbbells and follow up with the cable lateral raises.
Lateral raises, I know. It's funny when you do lateral raises, you got to be careful not to engage the traps. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Just slightly bend it over so that you can do this movement with your hands when the dumbbell is pointing a little bit downwards. And I love them in the cable because you have the negative aspect of it also. You also like lift the weight and you have the cable pulling it at all times.
I do like that. What about lats? What about the lats? What's a good exercise for the lats?
Well, that's actually a pretty good exercise because a lot of people still doing this thing here.
Yes.
But when you do this thing here, there's a little limited motion on the biceps.
Yes.
If you turn it around like this, and actually I just saw a video recently of Dorian Yates actually stating the same thing.
Oh wow! Yeah, rubbish. I agree.
You have to turn it down.
Yes.
Because you get better movement on your biceps, and you're still gonna engage your lats even more.
Wow. Yeah. So I
don't really do this anymore. I do this, but still keep like a good width.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many sets and reps?
Back for me is something that grows very easily. So back and shoulders and I don't do, but back is always been I don't know why it's always been something that I did heavy work. Always back always turns to heavy work.
Yeah.
Like not like I don't know why, but now it's something different, of course, because my shoulders and my back I don't need that much work, but legs and arms, even though that's my 2 days when I really give them a lot of time and a lot of isolation, legs and arms.
Okay, so all right. So what about bicep? What do you do for bicep then?
Ooh, I'm all about old school bodybuilding still. So I still do the standing barbell curl.
Oh, I think it's a winner. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And concentration curls like the Arnold curls,
Oh
standing
yeah,
over,
concentration curls. Yeah.
hanging concentration curls, and a lot of hammer curls, a lot of spider curls with the incline bench
Yeah,
hanging
spider
over
curls.
the
Yeah.
bench,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like that.
Old
What
school stuff.
I think old school, they had big arms, those guys. What about tricep?
Yeah. Well, it's the same again. Start by always warming up the elbows because back in my younger days, I was always sore because doing so much heavy lifting, right?
Yeah.
So now the first exercise always checking the rope and just warming up the triceps, like doing like 40 reps just for one set, just to get the blood in there.
Yeah.
And after that, you have something over your head
Yeah.
and something down
Yeah.
and something like with the press, some narrow grip bench press or something.
Nice, nice. Okay, what about not many people train them, but actually I saw a post 2 days ago at one of the Olympia contenders. I don't know his name, so I don't want to say a name. He was training forearms. Do you train forearms?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I actually do.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah. Oh, I train forearms, and I don't have a good forearm. I'll tell you now, I don't have a good forearm.
Yeah, it's the best. I think it's weird looking when you have like huge arms and no forearms.
Yeah, I agree.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
But actually, Dorian Yates he was like, no, you don't need to train forearms because
Yeah, I heard that.
if you lift, yeah, if you lift heavy enough, it should be fine.
Yeah,
But back in the day, I used to train forearms twice a week,
yeah.
and now I'm maybe doing it like once a week.
Well, I
now.
train forearms because
I just
I
did it
train
yesterday,
everything,
actually.
and my forearms aren't big. Let me tell you.
Yeah. No, but still, it helps with grip. It helps with a lot of things, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I love training forearms.
I think the one I enjoy doing is standing up, putting the barbell behind me, and rolling them up.
Oh yeah.
Rolling them
Oh
up.
yeah.
I like doing that.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
That one's good. What about quads? What do you train for quads?
Oh, everything.
Like what?
But the big mistake that people make, I think, regarding legs, is I used to do it myself back in the day, starting with squats, because people are still saying, well, it's the best exercise. Yeah, but it's the injury. It's just like a matter of you can exhaust your legs just by using the leg extension machine, right? Just sitting down, just doing a lot of repetitions, a lot of drop sets, a lot of supersets, and after that, a lot of lunges, a lot of jump squats, box jumps. The Jefferson squat actually is one of my favorites. You can see Kai Green doing them with an empty barbell, but it's effective.
What's a Jefferson squat? What's a Jefferson squat?
Yeah, Jefferson squat is when you put the barbell is between your legs and you stand like.
Oh yeah.
It's an insane squat. It's an insane.
It looks crazy, man.
I do walking lunges.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do walking lunges. Well, I didn't have it in my repertoire back in the day, but it's something new.
Okay. No, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. But you need with the squatting, I'm actually not squatting heavy anymore. I'm trying to really concentrate on the form. So I started with an empty barbell, and just doing 20 reps all down to the floor. 20 reps and adding just like maybe 10 or 15 kilos, slightly going up to 100, but still doing 20, 25 reps. That's insane. It's better than doing heavy work. But back in the day, I was training more like a weightlifter because I didn't understand. I was training so heavy and I couldn't feel my legs. They didn't grow because I was training so heavy, but the form was shit.
Back in the day, all you knew was to train heavy. That's all you knew. Hammies, heavy, everything. Hammies.
What?
Hammies, hamstring.
Hammies. The best one. Well, I do. Well, there's only two ways you can train the hamstrings. You can pull it or you can curl it. Right? So I make sure to do both movements. standing deadlifts, RDLs,
Yep.
as people like to call them nowadays. I do it with a barbell and do it with dumbbells, and I do seated leg curl
Yep.
and lying leg curl.
Oh,
So
yeah. I find the standing curls are good too. The standing one, there's a standing one.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good, very good.
We don't have, especially the one when you isolate. But we don't have that one in our little basement, our little humble
I
basement.
forgot about your little
We
humble
don't have that
basement.
one. I actually love it.
Oh, yeah. What about calves? What do you do for calves?
Well, for me, one of my calves has erupted back in the day because I was doing so much heavy work. But for now, I actually need to train them almost 2 or 3 times a week just so they can have the appearance of keeping up. And for one of them is still a little bit smaller than the other one, so I use something to keep the blood inside of the calves. If you know these blood flows restriction, so I put it around one of my calves. Yeah. So now I'm working on it can go back to being as big as the right one.
Oh, that's good.
So it's 2 times a week. Yeah, it's calf raises, standing calf raises, seating calf raises. And a lot of stretching in between the reps.
Oh, awesome. What about, I mean, obviously I keep saying this is technical. What about tibialis, the front of the calf area, the tibialis?
Ooh, I actually used, a lot of people don't even know it, but I actually used to do it back in the day. I would take the standing calf raise machine and I just turn around, do it just reversed.
Yeah.
And people would come like, what? Yeah, people were like, "What the fuck are you doing? Oh, this is the tip." It's like, what? What are you doing? It's like, the tibialis. I said, "What the fuck is that a muscle also?" Yeah.
It is a muscle.
I don't do it anymore. But I used to do it back in the day.
Well, the gym I go to has actually got a machine. And what about glutes? What do you do for glutes?
Oh,
I don't know. Hip thrust?
Conversation
hip
about
thrust?
hip thrust.
Is the hip thrust zesty in Denmark?
Yeah, it is. It is very, very. My wife does them, and I do something I call them donkey kicks. When you put the cable around your ankle and you just kick back.
Yes.
Those are very good.
Yes.
Those are very good for your upper hamstrings and your glutes, and just squatting and doing your deadlifts, your straight leg deadlift with a wide stand. And just push your butt out. Just push your butt out when you're doing the deadlifts. And instead of lifting with the hamstrings, you can push your butt out to lift with. But hip thrusts.
Look. I think
I actually overheard you.
I know, but here. It's become, to be honest, hip thrust is becoming a global pandemic in our podcasts. People are very upset with Jeff and myself maybe discussing this the hip thrust. But look, what I've seen at the moment in bodybuilding is a very important aspect. Is the glute muscle is very apparent now in bodybuilding. Back in the 90s and 80s, the glute wasn't so apparent, but now the glute is, I think, marked in bodybuilding. So it's very important.
It is. But just do your squats with the great form. Do your standing straight deadlift with You can have a lot of glutes engagement if you do it right.
Yeah, true. I agree. So this is your chance to promote yourself and your products. So tell everyone where they can find you and what you sell. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, we are called Empower Nutrition. We are going the natural way.
Yep.
So our best sellers is our fat burner with MCT, natural fat burner. It is actually, I compare it to T3 without the heart beating heavily and all that stuff. So it's natural. People are losing tons of weight with it. We have competitive bodybuilders that are using it before their shows actually. So it's pretty potent, but it's natural. Our ashwagandha.
Yep.
Best-selling product. Best-selling product, testosterone booster. You don't need any other testosterone booster. We have mushroom coffee. We have creatine. We take it slow because we want to have premium products only, and only science facts based facts products. So that's it. We can find us on our YouTube, Empower Nutrition. Make sure to subscribe there because we're gonna have lives coming up when people can ask all kind of questions regarding fitness. It's not always about the products, just like general help, like we talked about, free help.
Yep.
Everything is free unless you buy products, of course.
Of course. Of course.
I even help people with, yeah, of course. I even help people put together some training programs if they come on live. So I save some time with writing down and stuff. So I just tell them over the live. So we help a lot of people simultaneously. So that's fine. They can find us at Empower Nutrition Shopify, and we're coming on Amazon as well. This month is the same name, Empower Nutrition. So yeah.
And you're on TikTok?
I am on TikTok in 2 different accounts. I think I'm not gonna use it that much in the future, but locally here in Copenhagen, it's still gonna be there.
How come
YouTube is gonna be the new platform?
Okay, how come you haven't done Instagram? Why not Instagram?
Yeah, well, actually, after I talk to you, I'm actually going to start one.
I think you should.
I have one, but I don't use it that much.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I think you should. And
Instagram and YouTube. Amazon.
Yeah, no, I think get your Instagram going. Not that I'm a professional social media guy, but I do know it seems like Meta is compounding better than TikTok at the moment. TikTok seems to have put some brakes on things. I don't know why. They've got boundaries and brakes.
True. And actually, in the United States, they wanted to ban TikTok as a whole. And I have my guy in Colorado in the United States. He was actually going because he was afraid that they're going to ban TikTok as a whole because Joe Biden actually signed that they're going to ban it. It's going to be a thing or not, I don't know. But I think that the whole algorithm changed and there's a lot of restriction. You cannot talk freely about stuff. Well, so it's not the platform for us because we just want to speak freely and talk to people about the stereotypes and,
Yeah, like I said, I think you're doing great. I think definitely you want to build your YouTube.
Definitely, yeah. YouTube.
Bryan?
And it's
No, go on, say it.
I just think even for me or for other business, small business, YouTube is a better platform because when you invest the time and putting a good video out, it's going to stay there forever.
It's evergreen. Evergreen. I learned the word evergreen.
If the subject matters in 2030, people are still going to search it.
100%.
They're going to find it.
No, you're doing it right. But mate, we finally met. You always gave me great credit every time I got on your when you were live, and I'd say, "Hello, mate. G'day, mate." You'd always go, "Oh, there's Muscle Talks podcast. Steve, he's a great guy." So I hope we lived up to the belief. I hope we lived up to who we are. I really appreciate you adding some value to our podcast. You are now going to feature in a few weeks on YouTube, so you'll be evergreen as well. They'll see you. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for all your work, man. Thanks for just carrying this bodybuilding business. I think we need more people like you. That's it.
Thanks,
End
mate.
of story.